Why video?
So you're a real estate agent and you're thinking, why video?
And hint, it's not all about selling houses. The Digital Agent Podcast is sponsored by Bounce Coffee. It takes a lot of coffee to sell this many houses. My favorite is Liquid Speed Extra High Caffeine. Find your Bounce at bouncecoffee.com, now shipping worldwide. Bounce Coffee, making the world a better place, one cup at a time. The Digital Agent Podcast is also sponsored by the Neon Collective. Get your own custom neon sign like the one you see behind me. Simply log on to neoncollective.com.au, or for those of you in the States, customneon.com. I've worked out a deal for my listeners where you can get 10% off your custom-made neon sign, whether it's simple lettering or something that you upload to them, like the Remax balloon you see behind me. Thank you, Candice. If you use the code DIGITAL10, you get 10% off your design, and they have an awesome thing on their website where you can, while you're listening, put in your design, work it out, see what it's going to look like, hit the order button, and they'll send you a quote within a couple of days.
Rob and Candice in the morning, come and get it while it's hot. You can copyright that if you want.
I'm Rob Levy, an agent with Remax here in Brisbane who does a lot of digital marketing. And this is my friend Candice, who is the founder of Cotton Candy Creative, which is a digital marketing agency.
Yes.
So let me introduce my friend. Candice's mom has been in real estate for 30 years, something like that.
You just keep adding years to it.
And so she grew up in a real estate family, and at first she was working doing letterbox drops, and then she worked as a BDM in a large real estate office, and then she got into sales herself and found her niche using video. Candice, tell us a little bit about why you've gone from doing that to what you're doing now.
Okay, so I've always been a creative person. Prior to even being born into a real estate family, Mum wanted me to be in real estate. So like any good daughter, I said I wanted to be a rock star. So I was a professional musician for a number of years.
We can tell.
Yeah, thanks, man. I've got the cool cred. So I've always been a creative person, and even as a BDM, I was using video quite a lot just because it was fun. I'm the kind of person as well where if I don't enjoy what I'm doing, I don't do it very well. So I was just thinking of new ways to I guess make my life a bit more interesting. And when I went into sales, I was only in sales for a very short period of time. Because I got asked to go and speak at R4, which is, the global Remax rally over in Vegas. Vegas, baby. So, what I found from being over in Vegas was that as much as I, enjoyed real estate and I was born into it, I've always been that creative. And what I really loved was the creative aspect of it. I got asked to go over there because of the videos that I was creating. And that kind of just clicked with me. And it's transitioned from a real estate agent to, executive media and marketing manager for a Remax, two Remax offices, to now creative consultant for a digital creative, agency.
So what you're doing now is not just videos for real estate.
No.
You do some gyms and
hairdressers, small business. I do events, hospitality venues that might have an event they want to sell tickets to. So, all of it, it's a wide range.
But you specialize in video for real estate agents.
I do. I guess because I've walked in those shoes and I've lived that life and I know the language. So for me, I enjoy it, and I like seeing real estate agents get confident and showing their wins without feeling like they look like a bit of a dickhead.
We'll talk about how to do that in a second. But first, I want to roll one of Candice's videos so you know what the heck we're talking about. So, roll clip.
Hi, you've reached Martin Hood from Remax Riverside. Sorry I can't take your call. If you'd like to leave your name and number, I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Have a great day.
Hi Marty, it's Richard here. We adore the last house you sent, but we've decided we want something different. We want something that when you open the gate you think, wow, that is impressive. Different, rustic, warm. Family gatherings are a regular occurrence, so endless entertaining spaces, a pool, a rooftop terrace with amazing views, and while I'm at it, let's throw in a wood fire oven. I'd really love a couple places to unwind after work. Let's make that 3. Actually, make it 4. I really want the kitchen to be the heart of the home, right beside the living space. The perfect place just to put your feet up and relax. Marty, you know the tribe is growing. We need at least 4 bedrooms with guest bathrooms, and the master, somewhere where you wake up in the morning and think, you know what, I'm gonna stay in a little longer.
Okay, so you can see that's a little bit outside the box. It is something a little bit different and eye-catching, and that leads me to ask, Candice, how do you create a good real estate video?
It's got to be creative. So Cotton Candy Creative, the way that we kind of sell it is it's lead generation for our clients by implementing creative content. So if you just want a boring video where you've got a drone flying around for a bit, probably don't come to us. We want to do groundbreaking, pushing the limit kind of stuff where you're actually going to get your audience's attention, because it's 2019. People are so used to bigger and better and more exciting and crazy. So we really want to capitalize on that. So for us, it's creative. It's got to be relevant. It's got to be exciting, and it has to be believable, and it's got to have you in it as an agent. So that's really, really important. Your brand story, being that confident person, we can work our way up to that, but it's it's got to be you.
Speaking of how it has to be you, we do get a lot of agents that say, oh yeah, video is just not for me.
Yes.
And well, look, I'm a bit wild. I like to jump in pools. I like to ride horses in my videos.
Nearly fall off horses, yeah.
Okay, that was... I need a stunt double. But
yes, you do.
The whole point is that you can do video as an agent without being me. What I've found that by doing videos as myself is that I end up attracting people who want someone who's not wearing a really expensive suit, driving a Lamborghini, and is super serious. And that helps me in my business because I end up with clients that come to me for me, and they believe in me, and we work super well together. Tell me a little about that.
Well, it's like people always say you've got to target your audience, but if you don't know what your audience is yet, how are you going to target them? So you're going to be different to someone, like you said, who might be the suit-wearing guy, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just about finding your brand persona and connecting with those people, because those people are going to connect with you very differently than they would with the guy in the suit, which is why you've got that following. You've got your loyal vendors and probably buyers now who want to work with you because they know who you are. You're showing vulnerability and relatability and likability, and that basically creates trust. It's like connection creates that, or the emotion rather, let's start again. So emotion creates connection.
So what you're saying is by doing videos and distributing them on the various social networks, it might be more effective at getting listings than putting flyers in letterboxes.
It is. You don't be saying might to me, like, you look at your smile. It is, and you know it. I mean, if you didn't know it, you wouldn't be doing it. And that's another thing about me, and it's probably very similar to you as well. If it's not working, I don't try it again. I don't, you don't keep doing it. The fact that I'm so passionate about this, and I've actually now branched out and gone, I'm leaving kind of the real estate, agent badge behind, because I want to talk about this to anyone that will be willing to listen, is because I believe in it, because I've seen it work. I know it works. I was a new little kid in real estate when I first did sales, and I was competing against agents who had been well established in there. I had to do something different. 20 years ago, I was letterbox dropping for my mum as a form of prospecting. Like, it could not, in my head, I'm thinking it can't be the same now.
And yet you were doing it. You were riding around on your little scooter, dropping flyers in people's mailboxes, and how well did it work for you versus agents that were 20 years in the industry?
Yeah, I know. Look, the fact that I got the listings was because of the video.
So
It was we spoke about this. I offered them something that no one else did in that area. They had a lot of agents that I found were quite comfortable. They were quite used to their process. They knew what they wanted that worked for them. They knew how to sell, and that's fine. But I think what I had when I went in there was I actually had to listen, and I had to try and figure out a way to be different. So it was almost like that vulnerability to them made them, I guess, a little bit more interested than the same we've had 5 agents through and they've given us the exact same package, the exact same marketing, the exact same rundown. So I excited them, I think, with this is different.
So I want to break that down. So what you're saying is that video is not only good for helping to sell a property, it's not only good for getting yourself in the door, but it's also good when you're at a listing presentation, because if everyone else is offering the exact same thing, you can present sellers something about their property that really shows that you appreciate it, and you're going to show the features and benefits of that property in a way that photos just can't.
Yeah. You are, and what you're doing is you're going in there, you're standing out already, you're being different, but you're showing them something that they already love, which is their house, and you're showing a way to highlight that or showcase that in a way that will make them feel so proud. Everyone loves their house is always the best in the street, the next door neighbor's house doesn't compare. So when you're sitting there saying, you know, Mr. and Mrs. Vendor, I believe that we can do this with your property, and I want to know the story of your home, tell me about it, what do you love about it? They go, holy shit, this person genuinely cares, they're invested, and I get to like show why my house is so amazing. And I know that there are people probably listening to that thinking, well, that sounds lovely, but it's just about selling houses, but it's not anymore. Real estate isn't about that anymore. Vendors are the ones expecting that you go to them with some kind of digital marketing campaign. I mean, you're probably the first person that can actually confirm that. You know, you walk in there and you don't have that plan of, it's 2019, we need to be a little bit relevant, we need to be exciting, this is the marketing campaign, this is the video, this is the, you know, the social campaign for Facebook and Instagram. Then they're going to engage with that and they expect it.
And what people are going to be saying in their minds, I'm imagining, I'm listening to your head, is, oh yeah, that works for $1,500,000 house like the one that Candice just showed us, but does it work for a $200,000 house?
You need it more.
I am here to tell you that it is more important for your $200,000 house than it is for your $1 million+ house. What would I do with a $200,000 house? I would say, bring your friends, bring your tool belt, put on a couple of pizzas, because this is the best bargain in the suburb and you can create something special here. There might be 90 of those houses on the market, and they all have a bunch of dodgy photos. But if you go in there with an exciting video showing the benefits of buying on that block and something, creating something special for the person's family who's buying it, you are worlds ahead of everyone else.
Yeah.
You'll get more buyers to your open home. You'll create competition. You'll get a better price for the house. And then from the agent perspective, everyone in the neighborhood will see what a great job you did selling that house. Why would you get into their letterbox when you can get into their bedroom at night?
Cheeky. No, it's true. And with the video that I did when my first ever real estate video, the engagement that we got from that without even sponsoring it was in the first few hours was over 5,000 views. It was just going off like hotcakes because it was different. And the one thing I actually said to the client was, look, it was a townhouse. It was a townhouse like every other townhouse in the area. She put some work into it, which, you know, we wanted to showcase because she was proud of that. But the reality of a buyer walking in going, I can see the value here. You know, buyers have that poker face. They try to bluff their way through. We decided to show the lifestyle because it was in an amazing area. And really the lifestyle was the draw card. Like you were saying, you know, there was 14 other townhouses around that property. The reality of a buyer going, number 8's the one I want instead of number 6 was not going to happen.
Okay, so did the video help with the sale of that house?
It did. It actually sold that property, and I know because I asked the question to the buyers. I said, look, did you see the video, or how did you find out about the property? And it was a couple, and the girlfriend had actually seen the photos. The photos went up first. Sometimes that happens with the video. The photos went up first. We wanted to show that it was there. Her words to me were, I saw the photos, but it didn't really excite me. And then the boyfriend saw the video and showed her, and she was like, we've got to look at that house. And the next day they came through and they had a contract on it.
And I want to talk about who sees those videos, because of course that was a local buyer here in Brisbane, but for some of the houses that I have done on video, I've had buyers from London, I've had buyers from Abu Dhabi, and I've had buyers from Perth, which might as well be another country.
Yeah, right.
It's completely across the planet from where we are.
Yeah.
And if they're flying completely across the planet to buy your house, guess what? they're going to be paying a little bit more. And if they've invested that much in getting there to see the place,
that's the point.
There's a good chance they're going to stick with that rather than going and researching a bunch of other houses they've seen on the market.
Exactly. It's like our buyers, you get so many buyers through opens. Majority of them have been looking, it's the same spiel. I've been looking for a few months. You get the ones that you've seen for like a year or more and you're thinking, how is this possible? So what you're actually doing is you're getting rid of the tire kickers. If someone's watched that video and they've chosen to go to that open home, they are invested. Your job is nearly done in reality. And they're not going to walk around and go, oh, it's a bit smaller than I thought. The photos are, look, I don't know. It's got a scratch on that door. Probably going to take about $2,500 off for that. They don't knock it because that emotional connection that you've created, they feel like they can't. They feel bad, like it's almost their home already.
It's like a great sorting machine.
Yes.
Whereas
100%.
if they see the video and they don't like the place, they're not going to show up. But since the video gets seen by 10 times the amount of buyers that would see just the photos and engages them for longer, maybe a minute and a half on the website instead of 12 seconds, the ones that actually show up, and the numbers are huge, are more committed to buying that place. You get multiple offers, creating competition, a better price, a faster sale, and
you look like a legend.
You look like a legend. And as an agent, all the sellers in that immediate area are seeing that video if it's correctly socially targeted.
Yep.
And then you get the phone calls without having to door knock.
Cold call.
Hi, this is Rob. Were you thinking about selling your house? I haven't cold called in 4 years, folks. Don't do it. Say no to cold calling.
You know what I was thinking as well? What about how, you get those phone calls? I mean, I get them in my area where it's like, did you know a property down the road just sold for this? And then you go on and have a look, and it's not even their property. Like, they've just rung to go. Like, that's how, I guess desperate's the wrong word, but that's how hungry these agents are to get something happening. They need the listing. They need to say that they're actually telling people that other agent stock is sold. Imagine being able to go, here it is. This is my property. It's just sold. And it's all showcased. It's all perfectly strategically planned where it gets, shown here and it gets shown there and then the other agents hear about it. And, video isn't just about selling a property. It's about showcasing the property. It's about showcasing how good you are as an agent to a potential future seller. It's about showcasing how good you are as an agent for a buyer so they feel comfortable. It's exposure, it's branding, it's marketing, it's prospecting.
It's who you are.
You are the brand.
Which your face is your brand.
100%.
And
like your schnoz right now.
It's right in the video. Absolutely.
It's true though, you are your brand, and I think that's what people forget. Whether you're Rob Levy or you're Candice Arlett or you're someone who likes to wear the suits or you're, a little bit more reserved, it doesn't matter. That's your brand story, and when you tell that, you will attract that audience. You will be able to then target that audience because you've got that following, and the people who don't relate to that probably won't call, which is fine.
Which is great.
I know, like those times where you've got the property and you realise 3 months, maybe 2 months down the track, a couple of weeks down the track.
You just don't get along.
You don't get along. Not everyone gets along, and it's too late because you're stuck there and you're a good agent and you're a good person, so you just, keep going with a smile, and all you're thinking is, oh, I wish I had known this before. You're cutting that out. You're actually making it easier for yourself. I don't know anyone out there as an agent or even just as a business person, if we said to them, we've got a way that we can actually make your job easier and give you way more exposure and way more lead generation, would you be interested in hearing about it? I don't think anyone would say no.
And the return on investment is huge. Making a video with Candice for your property or about yourself might cost anywhere between, $500-$700 up to $1,500 depending on what you're doing.
If they want to spend $15,000, I mean, look, I can make it work.
There's
no budget. I can do whatever they need.
Absolutely. But a $1,500 investment, recently found one of your clients 3 leads, which each returned $25,000 to $35,000 in commission. So
that was in a 2-week time frame. So $1,500 down in a 2-week time frame after that video came out. 3 properties that are going to make them $30,000 in commission. Each.
Right. But
I'm not a betting woman, and I'm not very good at math. But I feel like that's pretty good, right?
It's like having a slot machine where you put the money in and it's guaranteed to pay out 10 times
that's
every
like the perfect analogy. It's like the
time.
movies where like anyone's in Vegas and they put that last 10 cent or whatever and they pull it and then they win $1 million. It's literally that in real life.
But I gotta jump in here because if you're just doing video, it's not going to work. So what Candice creates for you and what I create for my clients is like a G6 private jet. It's an incredible vehicle which will elevate your house, which will elevate your personal brand. But if you don't put any fuel into that beautiful thing that you've made, it ain't going nowhere. So it's really important to sponsor that post, to sponsor that video, to get it out there on YouTube. Were you telling me about LinkedIn?
Yeah, so LinkedIn, they use video now, which I didn't realize, because when I first started, I was a bit like, LinkedIn, you know, like nothing wrong with like LinkedIn. We love you now, but
I love you, LinkedIn. Sponsor me.
Yeah, sponsor us. I thought it was boring. I'm like, oh no, I can't be bothered with that. You know, like I can't. The copyright stuff we can do, but it's not as engaging. No, they're all about video now. So LinkedIn, I mean, things like Twitter, as much as you like, and I get someone out there right now as an agent is looking at this going, where the hell am I going to get the time to do all this? And you don't. And you won't have the time.
Don't do it.
You won't.
Do you take photos of your own property?
Exactly.
If you do, stop. Okay? But you probably don't. What you probably do is hire a professional. So what you need to do is hire a professional to work with around editing and video, and then you need to hire a professional to put that fuel in the jet. Make sure your social targeting is consistent, because the people I can reach through my audience, I was doing it myself. I was spending 4 hours a week on the back end of Facebook, racking my brain, trying to get the statistics right, and I was spending maybe $100 a week and reaching 2,000 people. Now I can spend $100 a week with a digital targeting company, and I can reach 30,000 people for the same amount of money because they know how to do it.
It's a team. And real estate is changing in the fact that you are seeing a lot more team-based, sales agents out there. So you've got your secretary or your PA, and then you've got the person that handles the buyers. It's the same thing. It's like a tennis player. A world #1 tennis player has a team behind them that get them to that stage. Yes, they're the driving engine. They're the one with the talent. They're the ones that are the star. But they need those people, more specifically a coach, who they can bounce ideas off with. And sometimes if you're too close to a project, you don't know the right way to do something.
You can make tiny little, it's Australian, mate.
Yeah, man.
Tiny little 1%ers in your game, which make a huge difference.
Huge difference. Yeah.
Right. So, Candice, what would you say to an agent in 2019 that's not doing video?
Do you want the first thing that came to my head?
Yeah.
Happy retirement?
Ooh, that's harsh.
Look, I know it sounds harsh, but the reality is we have kids now who, when they get their school order, it's not stationary. Back in my day, I was excited because I was going to get like felt pens and all. It's like laptops and iPads now, you know. We go and get our groceries and a little robot's machine scans it for us. I avoid the people now because I'm like, it's been a long day. I don't want to have to pretend to be happy. I just want to get home and have a wine. So where Pluto, here we go. Pluto had video and photos taken like 3 years ago. Pluto is ahead of the game, people.
The
planet.
It's not a planet.
I knew you were going to do this to me.
Yeah, okay. So if Pluto can get on video...
Look, and it's not a planet.
You can get on video. It's not even a planet.
It's doing it though. This is the reality. Like, we're not talking about something that's so... like groundbreaking and hard and like
and
what?
Look, I'll be fair, it is hard at first and it's embarrassing and you will mess up, but guess what?
We've messed up like 5.
I've just hit the camera. Did you see that?
That was perfect.
We've messed up a lot, but it's all edited so that when your clients get to see it, it looks brilliant, and that's the point of partnering with someone good. Now,
Wait, I want to say one thing about that. I'll be really quick, I promise. Videos don't have to be $1,500 videos either. It's very, very on trend now to have that Gary Vee style where it's just you and your iPhone and you're talking and you're relating to people. You'll probably get a lot of buyers and sellers that way. So being authentic and being real is much more important. My motto is it's about being authentic, not perfect. So you don't have to think that you've got to get, oh my God, $1,500 and I've got to get the drones and we've got to get the story. If you're an agent who just wants to kind of, dip the toe in first before you jump, you can still do it. There's ways to do it.
Absolutely. Get a friend in the office, get a fellow agent, partner with them, have them record you, have you record them, get it out there because it's all about starting. 100%. Now, I want to jump in and say one more thing before we go.
Yes.
If you're going to a listing presentation and you're going up against an agent like me, let's say I've got a beautiful Queenslander style house. Well, guess what? I've done 50 videos now, so I'm going to bring my laptop and show these people how we sold this beautiful Queenslander style house in 12 days with this fantastic video that presents its best features. And if my competition is bringing the newspaper and showing a static photo, who's going to get the listing?
Yeah, exactly. And that's what you have to think about as well. I mean, a lot of this is VPA, vendor paid advertising, for those playing along at home. So, you know, you got to be a little bit strategic about that. Use that to your advantage. You're going to show that house off, but you can use this content more than once, and you will walk into a presentation and you'll just press play and go, this is what I do, rather than here's the flyer and here's my look, there's no right or wrong way to do it, but video or not doing video or not incorporating it in some way is definitely killing your business.
It's killing your business. So get started with something simple now, and you might find you like it. It'll be a positive feedback loop. You'll get more business. You'll get clients that like you better, that you like better. Suddenly, you won't regret going to work in the morning, and you'll start killing the game.
100%. You feel a lot happier with it. And it's like a circle, to be honest. It is. It just goes around and around and around and around and around. Seller, buyer, you know, all your exposure. It's like the snowball effect that just keeps getting bigger and bigger and better.
So if you've made a video about a house and you've sold it in 3 days, guess what you can do? You can stand in front of that house and say, we sold this house in just 3 days. If you live in this neighborhood, give me a call and we'll get results like this.
And if they're not doing it, and if you're not doing that, a lot of people I hear, a lot of agents go, oh, I don't want to look like a dick. So many of the clients I work with initially have that, like, people already think real estate agents are the worst, right? So I don't want to come across like that. If you find someone that's good, like, I will never let you look like a dick, but you have to be real. You have to showcase your wins. It's what you do. You know, we're also willing to send on a piece of paper like, I just sold this, I'm amazing, but we're not willing to stand there in front of a camera and proudly say, I've just sold this. It doesn't, like, why? What's the difference? It's
no different. It's actually a lot more real. It's a lot more relatable, and it'll be a lot more effective.
Yeah.
Right. We gotta go. We actually have to go appraise a property.
We do.
How much fun is that going to be? So here's what you do. If you're in the Brisbane area or on the Gold Coast, maybe even the sunny coast, and you want to reach out to Candice to get some help with your video, how do they reach you?
So you can get me at my Instagram handle, which is Candice Arlott, which is ARLOTT. Candice Arlott _consultant. For Facebook, it's Candice Arlott Property Specialist. But we might just get Rob to do some more info, and you can call me. I'm a chatterbox, as you can tell. So Rob's got me on a tight schedule right now.
We gotta run. I'll put a link to Candice's information underneath this podcast. And as I always say, stay targeted. And Candice, as you always say,
happy creating and be creative.
Thanks so much.
Boom.
Nailed it.
Crushed it. That was way better.
Don't include that.
No, do include it at the end.
Don't include that.
Include this too. So, I mean, come on, guys. $15,000 down, and you're going to make 60, you know, like...
She said $15,000 down, so make sure you call Candice. Say that again.
No, but seriously, if you've got $15,000...
Call me! Call me!
Help my sister out. Okay. Let's do it again, but wait. Okay, you ready? Why video?
Why video?
Your face is coming.
My face. Hey!
I got wait. Let me pick you.